Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another 30 Days of Sketches combined with Color Craze. Today's sketch is from the fabulous Nikki Rowland, and the color palette that we chose has kind of some summery colors. At least I felt like they were summery, so I went with a summery type of layout. So there is the palette for you in case you were interested in that. And I'm going to pop the sketch in the corner there for you to follow along. I've got 3 photos here. The bottom right one is Noah holding a water balloon. The other 2 are Noah and his cousin in a little kid inflatable pool. And they had a water fight with me. They learned that they could, these were like the water balloons that have like, I don't know how many balloons attached to these little kind of straw things, and then you hook it up to the hose and it fills up all of the water balloons, and you can kind of shake it and they all pop off, and they've got like a little ring that holds the balloon shut. Well, they figured out that they could pop the little ring off and just shoot water out of the balloon at me, and that's what they are doing in the photos. So the first paper that I started off with, I'm cheating just a tad because it does have some red in it, and there's no red in our palette, but I'm considering it a darker shade of pink, if you will. But the back side is that plaid, and that paper is from Photoplay. It's called Little Boys Have Big Adventures, and I really liked it, so I went ahead and used that. And then I'm going to use some yellow paper to mimic the yellow of the inflatable pool, and some gray paper just to bring in some depth and darkness. I did ink everything up with peacock feathers, I believe is what I'm using. And I'm liking the way that that is looking so far. So just kind of playing around with it. I do know that my yellow and my gray is not quite long enough. I could cut another piece, but I could also just stretch it in half, or cut it in half and stretch it. And that's what I'm going to do with the gray piece. The yellow piece, I'm going to actually add a second piece to bridge the gap, because I was intending to have that smaller photo over there, and it didn't really give me quite enough room to just cut it in half and have it join underneath the photo. But later in the video, you're going to see that I actually change where my photos are, and the little photo ends up on the opposite side. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I am using some white paper in the background. I'm just using the Close to My Heart Daisy White, and I'm doing that because I'm going to add some mixed media to it. As you can see in the sketch, there is some mixed media behind the photos on the left hand side, and so I thought I'd go ahead and mimic that sunburst, only mine's not going to be turquoise like hers. I'm going to do mine in yellow, and so I'll do that in just a moment here. I thought I was going to use that stencil that has the light bulb there. I got that at an expo, so I'm not really sure who it's by, and I've had it for ages. So I am also using this additional stencil from Stamperia, and I will put a link to it down below in my description box in case you're interested in that particular stencil. This one is brand new to me, and so I thought it would be a good one to kind of give you splotches, almost splotches, and maybe a mimic of a sky effect, so, or like clouds or something like that, but some of them are really small, so I'm just doing it super light in the same colors just to kind of add some interest above the photos. And that is where I decided I'm not going to use that stencil. I pulled out my squeezed lemonade ink pad. It's the Oxide ink, and I'm just using 2 pieces of scrap paper to create the starburst or sunburst. I guess it's a sunburst. And it's not an exact science, but I thought this would be just the easiest way. And I don't mind that the lines are not all the same size. I kind of want them in varying sizes, some really wide, some really thin, and that works for me. I think the important point is to get them all originating from the same circle, and over here is where I kind of went off circle. I went a little bit oval, and you can kind of tell, but my photos cover that up for the most part, so it's not a huge deal. And I'm liking how that's looking, and you can just do that with 2 pieces of paper, you guys. It doesn't have to have, you don't have to have a stencil. It doesn't have to be perfect. and mixed media, you know, is never perfect. So it's all good. I do go ahead and spread my little gray piece apart here, but I do have to switch them, or I did have to switch them because I had the shorter piece on the top and I needed it on the bottom because I wanted my photos just a tad bit higher. So that's what I was doing there. And then I'm going to back my photos with some paper, just some white cardstock that was left over from another project. I am using some squeezed lemonade and some peacock feather ink to ink up the mats. I thought I would do them all in yellow, and then I decided to do the center one in the peacock feather color because I just thought it added a little bit of additional interest and made that photo stand out just a tad bit more, which I kind of liked. So I'm really happy with the way that it came out. If you follow my channel, you probably know I don't use a ton of cardstock except for black and white. And I find that this is an excellent way to ink up or to give yourself a cardstock look. Just ink up the edges and it looks like you've got the matching cardstock. So there's no point in me investing in a lot of cardstock that matches or storing a lot of cardstock that matches because I do have limited space. I do have access to cardstock at my mom's house next door, but I don't end up using it a whole lot. There is the number of the stencil KSTDL65 in case you are interested in that stencil from Stamperia. So again, I will put a link to it down below for you in case you are interested in that. I have an acrylic piece from Color Cast Designs and it says Summer Looks Like, and it's in that perfect color to match that plaid paper as well as the light colored inking that I did in the upper part of the layout, and I really like the way that that looks, and so I'm going to end up using that acrylic piece. Sometimes I audition those acrylic pieces and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use them. I just let them sit there for a little while and then I decide, but that one is definitely getting used. I am using also this yellow acrylic piece and it says Hello Sunshine, I believe. Hello Sunshine, Hello Summer. One of the two, and I can never remember. And it is from MK over at Some Assemblage Required. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck that in up here underneath this photo, give it a little bit of a pop of color there, and I'm liking how that's looking. And then I just pulled out this little piece that says Best Day, and I think that is from one of the Jen Hadfield collections, I think so. And then the yellow piece that says Enjoy is from a Paige Evans collection. I'm just using glue dots to hold the acrylic in place so that it doesn't wiggle around. And the Color Cast acrylic always comes with a backer on it. Sometimes I leave the backer on if I want it to be less transparent. But in this case, I don't mind that it's transparent. It's not going over a bunch of paper joins or a bunch of dark inking or anything. So it works out perfectly. And so I went ahead and removed the backer, and I'm just going to use some Zot's Bling to hold it in place. And that's actually what I used on the yellow piece as well. I did not use glue dots. I used Zot's Bling. I don't have a preference, whatever's cheapest and in the smallest size. That is my preference. So they both work the same in my opinion. And so it's nothing that I'm going to be picky about brand over. I also make sure they're the flat ones because the acrylic already has plenty of dimension to it. So I don't want to add any dimension either. And then I did add some dimension to that little piece that says Best Day. I just put it up onto some yellow foam, which makes it not quite as thick as the acrylic, but it gives it a little bit of extra oomph. And then I had this Heidi Swap sticker pack, and the stickers in it had some word phrases, and so I thought I'd go ahead and use those as well. And I'm really liking the words that are on there. And they basically say, the first one says time to have fun, then it says I don't think this could get any better, and then the last one says the best day ever. And I don't typically use things that say the best day ever, but you know what, for little kids, their mindset is so short. Like, the best day ever could be today, it could also be tomorrow, it could have been last week. And you know, it's kind of like when they say yesterday I did this and it really happened three months ago. So they have a lot of best days ever, and so I don't really mind it on layouts about toddlers or, you know, little tiny kids. And then I pulled out my Distress Oxide ink in Hickory Smoke, and I'm inking up the outside of this white piece of paper. And I think this piece of paper is just like the inside. It's like one of the little filler sheets to a page protector or something like that, because it's not from my regular stash, and I don't even know where it came from. It just happened to be sitting here. And so by inking it up and then popping my entire layout onto it, it brought the gray forward. If you're wondering why the back of my paper is yellow, I had intended to use that paper for that yellow strip or something like that when I kitted it up. But that paper happened to be upside down against all of my other papers, and I never flipped it over until I went to put the tape runner on the back, and I went, oh, well, that wasn't a white sheet of paper after all. So I guess I really wasn't on the daisy, daisy paper from Close to My Heart, which is what I normally use. And up until that point, I actually thought I was. And so, yeah, it's kind of a wasted yellow polka dot piece of paper. It's a lovely sheet of paper, and I'm really sad that I kind of wasted it. I thought about peeling everything off and starting over, but I had stuck some of that down with liquid glue, including the gray strip all the way down the center, and then the glue dots from the Summer Looks Like. I was afraid that would not come up either, so I just said, you know what? It's that yellow sheet of paper is taking one for the team. And then I'm adding some journaling down at the bottom here, and just saying that it was a grand water fight. Grandma was just as wet as you, and she wasn't even in the pool. And that is about it, you guys. I splattered a little bit of that Hickory Smoke ink diagonally across the layout, and that's all there is. Go check out what MK has done for her Color Craze layout today. Her link to her channel will be below, and the playlist link for everyone playing along with 30 Days of Sketches is also down below for you. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back again in 2 days with another video. So come back then and check it out, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye-bye.